I love intermittent fasting, especially as a really great tool to help you achieve a weight loss goal and help better utilize fat as fuel. But if you're eating certain types of foods with intermittent fasting, these will likely really halt your weight loss goals, cause you to plateau, and possibly even gain weight. Today I'm sharing those 10 super common foods that you're probably eating that are actively working against your weight loss goals in today's video. All right guys, if you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition and human performance. On my channel, I'm typically talking about the science-backed and holistic methods that you can use in order to achieve your wellness dreams. So if you have a wellness goal in mind, make sure you subscribe. Okay, so let's just dive into that first item, and it's coffee sweeteners. Sugar sweetened drinks are the #1 cause of obesity in America, and it makes complete sense because sugar is the main driver of the storing hormone insulin. So if you're mixing sugar into some type of drink, like with coffee as a really common example, this really quickly drives up your blood glucose, which then surges the storing hormone insulin. And when insulin levels are high, fat burning is shut off, and instead your body is in the storing mode. I mean, guys, let me just give you a very standard basic example. One grande Starbucks vanilla latte has 35 grams of sugar. This is literally more than a can of soda. And I don't think any of us would argue that a soda is something that we should be having if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal. And from what I've seen, these types of flavored drinks, flavored coffee drinks that you'll get at a lot of coffee shops are going to be the biggest culprits, because even if you are adding sugar directly into your coffee, even 1 tablespoon of that added sugar is going to amount to 12 grams of sugar. So that just really goes to show you how much sugar is in those things like a vanilla latte from Starbucks. And that's not to say that adding just straight up sugar into your coffee is better. It's just really there to put into perspective how much sugar is in these things like a vanilla latte or a pumpkin spice latte. Which, speaking of, a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks has 50 grams of sugar in a grande or 16-ounce serving. That is nuts. Instead, you can opt for using something like heavy cream, half and half, or making keto coffee is a really great alternative. All right, number 2, sandwiches. The main reason why sandwiches are not a good option when you are looking to achieve a weight loss goal is because it's going to be pretty high in those refined starches that cause insulin to really drastically go up, and fairly low in fat and protein that make you feel satiated and prevent hunger. Because likely you're not adding 4 to 6 ounces worth of some type of turkey meat or chicken meat or whatever protein you're using in a sandwich. Usually it's only going to be a couple ounces, which means that it's significantly lower in the protein that causes your body to feel full and satisfied and prevents snacking. Lower carbohydrate breads that are made with like almond flour, coconut flour could be a better option, but I've seen that with some people, even these lower starch options still can halt weight loss. So really just make sure that you're taking a look at how your body responds. One other wrap option that I really like is using a coconut meat based wrap. So I love using Nuco wraps, or there's also Thrive Market has their own version where it's just coconut meat, coconut oil, and coconut water. Okay, number 3, dried fruit. Now this one is particularly sneaky because you would think that it should just be a healthy item and that you should be able to eat as much of it as you want. And although whole fruits that are lower in sugar, so things like raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries, those are going to be perfectly fine for achieving a weight loss goal, the dried fruit is an entirely different animal. Because when you're drying the fruit, it makes it so that you're removing a lot of the water content, and that makes it so you can eat a lot more of, let's say, dried apples versus whole apples. And that in itself will really drive up the sugar content of that meal. And that's even assuming that these are unsweetened varieties, because there are a lot of dried fruits where they even add sweetness on top of it. So just to give an example, half a cup of dried mangoes has about 36 grams of sugar and less than 1 gram of fiber. That's a huge amount of sugar that's really easy to eat a lot of, and that will really drive up blood glucose and really drive up insulin. But mango is just inherently a higher sugar fruit. So even looking at those lower sugar fruit options like blueberry, where it's like a moderately low sugar fruit, just a 1/4 cup of dried blueberries has 26 grams of sugar. Now, if you compare that to the same amount of fresh blueberries, a 1/4 cup of fresh blueberries, that's only going to have a little less than 4 grams of sugar. So especially for weight loss goals, always choose whole fruit over dried fruit. And that includes in trail mixes. Okay, number 4, cereal. Now, honestly, I thought this one was going to be a little bit obvious, but from what I've seen, this is something that a lot of people are still implementing. And I get it. I grew up loving cereal too, but cereal is ultimately going to be made from a highly refined starch and then also topped with sugar, which that combination will do nothing for achieving satiety, which is why it's so easy to eat that entire box of cereal versus like the 1 cup serving. I mean, guys, just think about it. 1 cup serving is this. Who eats this? of cereal? No one. I wouldn't even do that if I were eating cereal. And it's because it is so low in the satiating protein and fat while being so high in the starches and sugars. Now, sugar content can really range depending on the cereal you're having or the amount of cereal that you're having. So just to give you some perspective, 1 cup of the Frosted Flakes will have about 14 grams of sugar. 1 cup of Special K will have about 4 grams of sugar. And that's just with that 1 cup serving. So if you're more realistically having that 2 to 3 cup serving, you're having 2 to 3 times that sugar content. And protein is that main driver of satiety, the main thing that's going to tell your brain that you're full, you're satisfied, you don't need to keep eating. And giving that 1 cup of Honey Nut Cheerios as the example, that's only going to have 3 grams of protein. Now on the flip side, if you have something like a 3-egg scramble with a little bit of cheddar cheese on top, that's going to be about 23 grams of protein, which is why you're going to feel a lot more satiated and have a lot less of that snacking behavior, a lot less of those sugar cravings when you eat something that's going to have a high amount of protein and fat versus something like cereal. Okay, number 5, soda, and even possibly diet soda. Just like the coffee sweetened drinks, soda is one of the most common sugar sweetened drinks that most of us are consuming. 1 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola has about 33 grams of sugar, which I just want you to note that's much less than that grande pumpkin spice latte. If you're drinking a sugar sweetened drink on a daily basis or multiple sugar sweetened drinks on a daily basis, just by removing that in itself or swapping it for something like sparkling water or something like Spindrift, that in itself will significantly bring down your sugar content for that day and really help to drop down that fat storing hormone insulin. Okay, number 6, sweetened yogurts. Now you guys know I'm a really big fan of Greek yogurt, the full fat unsweetened variety, but as soon as you start adding in sweeteners and getting the pre-sweetened yogurts itself, that's really going to increase the sugar content and make it so it's not really going to help support your weight loss goals. When you have the full fat unsweetened variety, especially if it's like a Greek yogurt, it's going to have a pretty significant amount of the satiating protein and fat. Now to put this into perspective, 4 ounces of a low fat vanilla yogurt has nearly 16 grams of sugar. Now every 4 grams of sugar is going to equate to 1 teaspoon of just regular sugar. So with this 16 grams of sugar, it's essentially like taking 1 just regular yogurt and adding in 1 1/3 tablespoons of just regular cane sugar into your yogurt, which is where swapping your low fat sugar sweetened yogurt for an unsweetened Greek yogurt is a really great option to help keep you satiated. In fact, I also created a free download for you guys with 7 recipes that you can use with intermittent fasting that incorporate this protein, fat, fiber, and lower sugar approach. You can get those 7 recipes to help jumpstart your intermittent fasting journey on achieving your weight loss goals. I'll have that link down in the description below so you guys can check that out. Okay, number 7, granola. Just like with cereal, granola is that combination of starch and sugars with low protein. And just like with cereal, it is so dang easy to eat so much more than that recommended 1/3 cup serving. Guys, 1/3 cup, that's this much. That's nothing. And for like a moderate sugar granola, you're looking at about 7 grams of sugar per this much granola. Increase that by like 3 of these, and that's probably more of a realistic serving that most people are going to have with granola. So it's fairly high in sugar, it's not going to be satiating, you're going to want to eat a lot more of it, and you're not going to feel full or satisfied after. So that means insulin levels are going to go up, fat storing is going to be turned on, and you're not even going to feel satisfied. Now, instead of using granola, when I top my Greek yogurts, for example, what I really like to use for that crunch is a combination of coconut flakes, unsweetened of course, cacao nibs, pumpkin seeds, and cinnamon. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Okay, number 8, keto treats. Would you guys have seen these around? It's like keto crackers, keto cookies, keto pie. I don't know. I've seen so many different like keto treats out. And there's a couple different problems with these like keto treats. First of all, they are still going to have some type of non-nutritive or 0-calorie sweetener, something like stevia or erythritol. And for some people, this can still cause an insulin response, which might explain why if you are using something like keto treats, keto cookies, that you are still not achieving your weight loss goals. In fact, I did do a video on the science behind this, on how something like stevia, even though it doesn't contain any calories, can still cause an insulin response and still work against your weight loss goals. Check that video out right here. Okay, number 9, chips, crackers, and rice cakes. So they're going to be high in those refined starches that drive up insulin and not really contain any of that protein or fat to make you feel full or satisfied. That means you're going to have a lot more of that mindless eating behavior where you can just eat and eat and eat and realize that, oh my gosh, I've eaten this entire bag of chips. How did that happen? But at the same time, your body is going to be able to quickly break that down, absorb it very quickly into your GI tract, and cause a big spike in blood glucose and insulin as a result. And this is common with a lot of foods that are going to be more refined and have more sugar, is that generally speaking, they're going to be also low in protein and fat. So they're kind of almost designed to make it so that you're going to keep eating more and more of these because it has none of that satiety signal. Okay, number 10, sweetened alcoholic drinks. And just like with the coffee, just like with soda, when you're drinking a sweetened alcoholic drink, so something like a cocktail, for example, you're going to be getting a pretty significant amount of sugar that's going to easily be broken down by your body and easily cause a spike in blood glucose and insulin and shift your body into that storing mode. Other examples would be something like pairing hard alcohol with soda, not soda water, but an actual soda like a Jack and Coke, or sweetened wines, which there are a lot of wines that actually do have added sugar in them. And of course, the more alcohol we drink, the more likely our body is going to store that as fat anyway. But if you are going to drink, I always recommend keeping it simple. So something like having just regular wine. Or if you're going to have hard alcohol, making sure that you're pairing it with just soda water. And frequency does matter, so aiming for a couple of drinks 2 to 3 times per week is ideal, if you choose to drink, of course. Now, if you're looking for the best types of foods to actually turn fat burning on, you can check out this video next right here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love the science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.